Hello Collective, welcome to the channel. It is August 23rd, 2025, and we're gonna check with Spirit to get us a message for the collective. I hope you're doing well, everybody. Storyline for the collective, please, Spirit. Storyline for the collective. Storyline for the collective, please, Spirit. Storyline for the collective. All right. In the central energy, we've got the Queen of Cups. In the challenge position, Two of Cups. In the subconscious, celebration. In the recent past, we've got the Victory and a Chariot, leaving things behind. Intentions and expectations. You're leaving everybody behind, and so now everybody's fighting. All that power of three is fighting now. All that have been working against you are fighting with each other. In the near future, we've got the Hierophant. The lens is being looked through. Well, we've got the completion of a cycle with the Devil in the reverse. Completion of a cycle, detachment from the Devil. Freedom! Woo! In the environment, the Sun, hopes and fears, the Hermit, and the outgoing energy, Tower. Sudden change. Due to the history, there are some folks getting disconnected. You're free of the Devil, they're in a tower, and they're having group conflict. You have worked very hard, maintained control of your life, and you're coming into the wish come true. Your wish come true is protected. The Emperor is offering protection here, and divorcing people out of this Queen of Wands energy. We've got Five of Pentacles and sacrifice. So somebody's lost all their money. They've been released from your charity. From your charity. Could be the charity of King of Pentacles. There's who is now manifesting love. It could be that the King of Pentacles he's got all the pentacles he's need. Now he's manifested some love. A reconciliation. A powerful new beginning here. So there could be new contracts regarding abundance, regarding this Ace of Pentacles. And those who were trying to fight with you are in a nightmare. Because true divine love is here. That's the delivery of justice, the law of cause and effect. You've got public recognition and victory over the Devil here. And they're in fear because they have to manage their own stuff now. You're free of it. King of Wands, free of it, overcoming challenges, and you're going into a new union, it looks like. A routine, steady, romantic proposal, it looks like, that you're willing to put the hard work into. High standards, because you're dealing with a star, and you are a star. So you're going to manifest some good stuff together, leaving behind all of the other stuff and entering into a new beginning. Mercy, mercy, mercy. You know the exact truth. You got your swords up. The Divine Feminine is speaking the truth about this freaking heavy burden that she's been under. And High Priestess here, High Priestess, and the knowledge that she carries brings an ending to this. You're free from this conflict and these abusive relationships. And they're in a freaking, these passion project people are in a freaking nightmare now. And they're restricted from you because they're illusionists. Illusionists trying to gain the merchandise of this Earth Angel, but the Earth Angel's getting it themselves. A wish come true. 9 of Pentacles. You gotta stay out. And they're rushing forward trying to get it, you know. But you persevered and the wheel is turning. It's just the way that it is. They still want to fight with you for what it is you are. And it's like, you know, they could have just said, you know, I love you, let's just build together. But they wanted to dominate and be vicious. And the problem is they don't build anything. They sit back and then siphon while somebody else is doing the building. That's not going to get you anywhere. In a hurry. Temperance angel coming into the fruits of your labor. Queen of Cups here, emotionally stable. You are there, ready for a new cycle, ready for something new. Yeah, Queen of Cups is coming into divine love, free of this devil here. 2 of Cups, unified love. Mutually attracted. History. It could be a connection from the past. We do have happiness here with those who have been working with you, your team, your spiritual team, the community of yours. Whoa! There's a celebration here, but we do have the 2 of Swords in the reverse. It could be that whatever you're working with here, you and this community of divine love, total love and support, like somebody's confused. You're celebrating and somebody's confused. Chariot here, you got a victory. King of Cups. King of Cups has a victory. He's moving forward. He's moving forward. Queen of Cups is right here in the central energy. He's like, that's my Queen of Cups. But somebody is in group conflict over this because the King of Cups has a victory here. They couldn't take him out. Look, they're fighting here over this Earth Angel. They're misaligned. They're trying to cause disharmony. They're disorganized, and they're fighting over with each other now over this Earth Angel. The Most High is here. The Hierophant is here. Calling judgment. The World, this is a completion of a cycle with the devil. The devil is in the reverse. You are free of that devil. detached. Detached. And they're disappointed because they're getting left behind. You're leaving them behind. You've got a rebirth here with the Sun card. And a wish come true. 9 of Cups. You're about to get a good life. Well, all those who tried to keep you from it are in a tower. You're doing your research here. You got the Hermit card. You're looking at everything. You contemplate everything regarding love. You got your eyes open and you're like, hey. So anybody coming forward with a love offer or whatever, you're going to be researching them very well. Somebody's in a tower here over your new cup of love. Look, they're in a tower. They're looking for new ways to communicate. They could have been cut off from telepathy, from your mental body. Something's happening. Oh, yeah. And again, they're in a swift tower. So they're in a freaking tower. There's chaos and upheaval. They're looking for new ways to communicate because, again, this tower is hitting them fast. It's hitting them real fast. We've got a Page of Cups and a Knight of Pentacles. They want love and they want to work with you, but the wheel has turned here and you're releasing that baggage. You're moving on. You're like very strong and you're moving into your future. And those who were causing illusions are in fear now because of the Emperor's the Empress's high standards regarding love, regarding her love cup. She's like, and these masculines, I had a masculine several months ago. I don't know who I was supposed to be, but the dude looked at me and he says, I don't like your perspective of reality. So you've got the Empress here. She's working real hard on her love cup, and these masculines did not appreciate her ideas and perception regarding love and union. So they decided to go be whores and trap her and then leave her alone, but prostitute the energy of her. They didn't want to deal with her, so they treated her like a freaking nasty. They were mean, unworthy of the love of this person. Absolutely. You got the King of Wands here, overcoming challenges. He is very persistent in his manifestation of this 10 of Cups. He's not leaving it behind. He's like, hey, this is my love. This is my love. And, it's a new cycle. And we've got new masculines coming in with a different idea about how the foundation ought to be managed and how they view the feminine here. Why? Because they're a freaking angel too. They're a King of Cups, Earth Angel. Queen of Cups, Earth Angel. The love of the masculine and the love of the feminine are coming together, and we're getting rid, we're going to be moving into happiness, man. Happiness and health and purpose is what it's all about. Happiness, health, and purpose. And somebody's in fear over it. Queen of Cups has got divine love. And you got this devil. She's free of this devil. This devil is in a tower. All they ever wanted to do was fight, 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 fight. Happiness haters. Now divine feminine and the divine masculine are coming together in this love. These devils are afraid of this because it's just over. This is a partnership that is perhaps from history, sometime in history. And we've got no worries. You're not worried about it. You're not worried about it. Whatever happened in the past, and you're moving into the future together, and there's a celebration. Somebody's confused. They're in fear here. They're getting information overload. They don't know what the heck to do now because you're in this love. They're thinking of ways to sabotage it now in the 3D, you know, to do actual harm. Because they're not in balance. There's a celebration. They don't know what to do. They're in fear. They've been cut out of your energy, Queen of Cups. They cannot siphon off of you anymore. They're out of balance. There's been a victory here for the King of Cups. He has overcome death. King of Cups has overcome death. So they might have been pushing death spells onto him. They may have actually tried to do a thing, but he has overcome it. And now they're fighting amongst each other because it's obvious he's a freaking temperance angel. And they couldn't unalive him. Woo! They couldn't unalive him, and now they're under judgment. Now the Earth Angel's calling judgment. He's like, and the Most High is right here with judgment also. It's like Divine Masculine and the Most High God is sitting here calling judgment on this group of devils. They're claiming the love of Divine Feminine in an honorable and respectful manner, not like before. These are different. Look, they're under judgment. They're the blame for what they've been doing. They are responsible for their own actions. And this came the other day when a copycat tried to transfer the sin of their evil deeds onto an original human. So, like, their DNA has been hijacked. And they went out there and they created a bunch of clones that were out there being whores and doing blood rituals and all this shit. And then they were taking that sin of their own deed and then putting it upon the original Earth Angel to transmute the sin, like you were their personal savior. And that's how I'm seeing it right now. These clones that were grown a body from your hijacked genetics, they think they're you. They're out there doing baneful magic that you probably don't know anything about. And then they've been doing forbidden magic, transferring that sin onto the original Earth Angel, the genetics that they stole and are wearing, thinking that they are the same. No, you're not the same. They have been doing baneful, forbidden magic and then placing the sin of that onto the original human. You were these clones or copycats' personal savior. And there's a lot of you out there that have been mistreated like that. And there's an entity out there that has been wheeling and dealing in the merchandise of Earth Angels for centuries. They've been getting off on hijacking the DNA, growing clone bodies in these little sacks of still and stagnant waters, and then putting demonic entities into it, or vampiric entities, or whatever, looking for a chance at life again. And then they've been going out and trying to hijack the spirit-soul complex of the original Earth Angel. It's been a pretty horrific crime. This is the completion of dealing with the devil. They're being abandoned. You're walking away from them. You're walking away. They can't bring you any more adversity. They're disappointed. They can't bring you any more adversity. You're free of them. You're in the sun energy with a rebirth. All is well. And you're coming into a wish come true. A wish come true. We've got honesty in the reverse. We're going to have to get more clear. You persevered. So you persevered through the dishonesty. The lies that were being told about you. The entire world was lying about you. You persevered through their lies by remaining steady, patient, forgiving. Release, release, release. You didn't get bogged down with malice. It's seen very clearly here. You persevered through all of the lies that this devil told on you. There's the hermit out here doing a lot of research. You're a loving being. You're an Ace of Cups love is what you are. They lied. You're a good friend. You love your friends. You're a good friend. The research has been done. The consistency has been seen. And these devils are in a tower. They're in a tower looking for new ways to communicate. They did not grow in consciousness and awareness. They did not experience any growth. It's like you were here to teach them the ways of love, and rather than become love or loving, they decide, you know, and I really feel that these lower vibrational entities that you were here to assist, they just couldn't handle the energy of love. They're too low vibrational, and they did not want to do the work. Instead, they just siphoned off of you and then lived a high life. They're in regret now because you are the abundant gift with limitless potential. You are the love, the success. All of that comes from you. And you're going to have peace of mind now because the relationship, there's a change. Relationships will serve the higher and greater good of the community, of your life. These guilty ones need to surrender their need to control you and your love and your future. You were courageous. When you were alone, you knew you were never alone. You practiced discipline. You didn't just go out and be a punk. You were patiently waiting on divine order, forgiving everything, forgiving everyone, and perhaps you've earned that here. The research, you were patient throughout extreme adversity, and rather than turn into a militant, a malicious, vengeance-seeking person, you actually waited on the divine. And Most High God is here right now calling judgment and making this devil carry the weight of their own evil deed. They're in grief about it because you've got happiness, health, and purpose. They've got pride, and you've got trust in the divine. And they're envious here because you're a grateful, thankful person still. After all of this, you accept what they got going on, and you continue to be grateful for everything that comes your way. And because of your willingness to stay in a lighter vibration, a higher vibration of acceptance and learning the lesson from the adversity, you get your freedom here. You get your freedom. Somebody doesn't know what to do because they're being denied by you, an empathic person. They have failed here, and you're moving into love. Love is the service, and now they're in doubt because they've lost it. They're being disconnected from your love for the abuse of it. You can't give 10 freaking wands or swords to somebody who's offering you 10 freaking love cups. It's not an equal exchange. You can't make this temperance angel carry your 10 of freaking wands while you extract out their 10 of cups. It's not right. And so they waited and waited patiently. Centuries this has been going on, and now the Most High is here calling judgment. Many cycles have occurred, and it's very, very clear that these ones are only intent on robbing you. They're not interested in becoming more or adding actual value to their soul. So you get a promise of justice. You're a good moral human, and you're getting the promise. Justice is being served here. Queen of Cups, the love of divine feminine, is getting a total love and support, divine love. These ones are in fear about it. It's a dream come true. The love you always wanted is here, and these ones are afraid because they're in danger. All that baneful magic that they did, all that blood magic, all that orgy magic, all that whatever magic, it's coming back on them. you're in a Two of Cups union, and it could be with somebody from the history, like thousands of years ago even, because the curator and his buddies are calling you a myth. They thought that they had exterminated all of you, but it appears that at least two originals that were supposedly myths are coming together. There's no worry about it. There's no worry. Like the history has been cleared up. The truth has been seen. Vow. It's a vow that you don't have to worry about. It's the vow that you had hoped for. There's a celebration here because those ones that were moving against you are in overload. They don't know what to do. They're out of balance. They were using you as a freaking composter, as a transmuter of their own sin. You were their savior. They would put all the shit onto you. And now they're out of balance because the curses have backfired. Everything has been returned. All of the imbalance, all of the curses, they're overwhelmed and overloaded with it because this was their job, a daily practice. And there wasn't just one clone or copycat of you. There were several, layering you in the blame and the shame of their evil deeds. And you were wearing it, so you may have felt worthless. You may have felt unworthy. You may have felt unlovable. You may have felt all these things because that's what these copycats were doing. They were going out doing really horrible things and then putting that energy onto you, that sin onto you. They were transferring that sin onto you, and your life was shit, or at least not what it should be. And this is why. You were their savior. They were doing evil deeds and putting it upon the angel that they were genetically born from, I guess. There's a victory here for the King of Cups. He has overcome death. We've got okay in the reverse. Somebody isn't stable here. So the King of Cups has overcome death. They were not able to unalive him, and they're not stable. There's a complete lack of harmony. There's no balance for these people. They're fighting amongst each other because the Earth Angel is calling judgment. The Earth Angel has called judgment, and now the third-party hobags, enemies, want to compromise. There's no compromise. There's several of these beings out there dressed up in your DNA, thinking they're the same, but they don't understand that the flesh is not the spirit or the soul. They're not the same. There's nothing. The flesh is just a temple, is just a house. Very nice house. Mirror magic does not mirror the soul. So anyway, the Most High God is here calling judgment. These ones have to accept the responsibility for their own evil deeds. These prideful, baneful people. The world is here. This is a completion of a cycle. You have completed it. You are whole. You are releasing, detaching, and free from this devil. They're disappointed because you have escaped. You're leaving them behind, and they can no longer cause you adversity. The curses are all backfiring onto them, and they're doing it alone. They're alone and they're sick. There's a medical apparatus right there. So they can't bring you any more adversity. They're disappointed. They're sick. You're the sun. You've got a rebirth here. All is well. You're getting a wish come true, 9 of Cups. You persevered through the lies that were told on you. through all of this layering of this deceitful transference of sin that they were doing to you. These baneful people. You're a high value person. Original. A high value original person. You're not one of the clones. You're not one of the clones for certain. The Hermit is here, and there has been a lot of research done here. If you think the divine is making decisions, just pulling freaking decisions out of their hat like these ones do, no. The divine does the research. And then, because there's many clones out there, they have to research, okay, this one, nope, that one is not it. So they get rid of it. And then there's all these other clones that keep coming up, and they have to continuously do research on who is who, and then do the process of elimination. This is not an easy process, and it is not a game. It is definitely not a game. The Most High God is there in that way with that authority for a reason. This isn't a frivolous little game. This is very serious. It's called life. And the intention that it continues. The organic human. We've got a lot of the original humans who have risen. They thought they had extinguished the life of the whole bloodline. But God said, you know what? No, what we're going to do is we're going to raise those originals from the dead, and we're going to give them the opportunity to create a new generation of human. Now, these devil vampires, I don't think they saw that coming. I don't think they thought that God was actually going to come and do that kind of stuff. You're moving into your fate. Research is done here. You are a being of love. You're an Ace of Cups love, and you understand that what friends are for. You're moving into your destined path with your friends, and these ones fell into their own trap. They fell into their own trap. They did not grow. They're in a tower. They're looking for new ways to communicate. You are calm, you are stable, and you're coming into the fruits of your labor. This is a conclusion of these ones collaborating, trying to bind you to their commitments. They were making baneful magic, bad commitments with low vibrational entities, because that's what they are. It's where they're from. And they were trying to stick it on you, and it's being stopped. They are responsible for their own stuff, and that's just the way that it is. The divine knows who is a clone, who is a copycat, and who is the original, just like the devil does. They all know who is who. And of course, these devil masculines are blaming the divine feminine and the divine masculine who is here in support of her. He's like, you shall not have my Queen of Cups, my Earth Angel. This King of Cups has overcome death, and he's like, now he could have been raised by the Most High God. A victory over death. The Most High has raised the love of divine masculine and switched places. This divine masculine has been free. He's gained a victory over death, and he's replacing this devil energy. God said, okay, devil, you're a failed experiment, and we're gonna lock you away now. You need to go learn some lessons because you didn't do well in this chapter. So we're going to raise up this divine masculine, and he's going to take over the foundation now, and we're going to go ahead and start a new chapter with the love of the Queen of Cups and the love of the King of Cups. These are earth angels. Yeah, these prideful people who were selling the innocent to the merchants, they're going to get death. Because this is a foe, and they are false. They're a false happy. They hate happiness. They're an enemy of happiness. They're running around pretending they're happy, but they're full of malice. you know? And these ones, they want to project out, your protector is a sorcerer. And I'm like, oh. So we've got witches, we've got wizards, we've got warlocks, we've got sorcerers, we've got magi, masters, you know. And these ones, these devils, they've been projecting their own venom and evil deeds onto others, you know, who utilize their sacred wisdom in a responsible way. But these ones don't. They twist it and use it in a forbidden way. And they've been pushing that blame off onto the divine temperance angel. This could be a clone of the King of Cups. They buried that King of Cups, and they've been layering him in the blame and shame of their evil deeds. There's probably many devils dressed up in his DNA composition, thinking they're him. But no, God said, you know what? That's not the way that it is. This King of Cups is actually the true King of Cups, and so we're going to raise him from the dead. We've got Doctor in the reverse. So these ones are in fear. They had an accident. They had some kind of an accident, and the doctor can't save them. You're in this Two of Cups connection here from the history. It could be from long, long ago. There's no worry about this vow. It's like if there was anything, then everything has been, look, we've got thief. So there's a vow. You have no worries. There's a vow that you don't have to worry about this thief. This connection isn't going to try to steal from you. This connection, you don't have to worry about this connection trying to steal your life, your energy. There's a celebration here. These ones who are having an accident, they're overwhelmed and overloaded. They're completely out of balance. The curses have backfired. They're responsible for their own evil deeds. The Most High has returned and, what did the curator's team say? Reverse. They reversed everything. Not just this lifetime, but I think centuries of evil deeds have been reversed upon those families. Yeah, you're innocent. You're innocent. So because you're innocent, all of this stuff, it won't stick to you. You're innocent. It looks to me like God has raised up this King of Cups. He has looked through, you know, in the Bible, I guess it says the dead will be raised or whatever. I really feel that he went into all of these spaces and places where people had been convicted of a crime and then held. I really feel as though the Most High went in there and then the enemy called it final judgment. I really feel that the Most High went into these spaces and places and reviewed the case, individual by individual, and has determined that this King of Cups is going to be raised from the dead. And he has been. He's an angel. And he's calling judgment because of what these clones or copycats had laid upon him and then deceitfully convicted him of. The Most High God can see very clearly that it was false. So, because the King of Cups has been raised from the dead, he is love, he is victory. These ones are not okay in the head. They're not okay. The room card is in the head. They're not okay in the head. It's like they're responsible for everything that they had laid upon him and then deceitfully convicted him of. It's like all of that they had convicted him of and trapped him with is now going back on them because he is the original angel that they tried to bury and trap. And the Most High God said, "You shall not trap my angel. You, copycat, are responsible for your own evil deeds." So all those evil deeds were lifted off of this divine masculine and given to you. It's your stuff. You can't go out here and behave in a heinous way. You know, you're a clone. There's probably many of you out there doing orgy magic, blood rituals, being evil, hurting animals and people, and trying to put the weight of that burden, that sin. You probably were eating them too. And you're not supposed to. And you put all of that on this original King of Cups temperance angel. God said, no. This temperance angel is calling judgment on you. There's no compromise here. They're in despair. They're in freaking despair because the angel that they had thought they had trapped and that they could siphon off of in these lower frequencies forever has been freed. The Most High is here in the Hierophant position, calling judgment. These prideful people are responsible for their own well-being. Every evil thing they did, everything has been reversed. Death. They have done so much death magic. They have caused the death of so many people. It's what they're getting. They're going to get an eternity of death. And I don't know if they ever actually get to die or if they actually have to die over and over and over again without dying, like the temperance angels. I don't know. But this is a completion of that cycle with the World card here. You have fulfilled your duties and your missions. You did the very best that you could to love these people, and they did their very best to play a trick, to commit fraud against the Most High God. The betrayed love. So, you're releasing them, you're detaching from them. Control has been restored. They're disappointed because they're getting left behind, and they're alone now, and they're sick, and they can no longer bring you adversity. They can't get your support. We've got servant in the reverse. The servant has fallen. They can no longer bring you adversity, and they're very disappointed. You've got the Sun here, a rebirth, all is well. The Lord is here with his wife. Entering into a Nine of Cups wish come true union, you have persevered throughout all of the lies, all of the blame and shame that they had covered you with, these clones that did not belong to you. You're a high value person and that God can see it. They've done their research. You are a loving person who recognizes the value of a friend. These ones don't. So we got lover in the reverse. You're a high value person. You're not out here bopping around with multiple lovers. You don't have a lover, maybe. You're a high value person. You respect the energy of your temple. You're not out there getting all floozy and debauchery with people. You don't have a lover. You're a high value person. Your energy is very pure. You're bright as the sun. You've overcome the lies by being pure, by not being a whole bag like they tried to paint you as, because these ones most certainly are. They had a plan, man. They thought they had it down, and it was cruel. Vicious and cruel. There's a surprise here. So the research has been done. You are a big old cup of love. You know what friends are here for. You're coming into your destiny. There could be a surprise. Somebody had mentioned that this was going to be extreme once you understand what has happened here. The tower has hit those who did not grow, those who refused to grow. They just wanted to be vicious and evil and lay that blame through this forbidden magic onto the original Earth Angel. And they wanted to walk around as though they were the Earth Angel, and they're just evil, man. They're not the same. The Earth Angel is loving, brings harmony and balance to the world. And these ones are evil. They bring towers and filth to the world, posing as their genetic supplier. Jackwagons. Yeah. So somebody's in a tower. They're looking at new ways of communicating. They're like, oh man, come on. They're messed up in the head. They got restless mental energy. They're not okay in the head. They're not stable in the head. All that mental magic, all that insanity magic, it's back on them. Death magic, it's back on them. They did not grow in consciousness and awareness. They fell into the trap that they had laid for you. It was their intention, and the divine stated that their intentions shall be their gift. Your gift, however, is a wedding. And it could be that they're bound. Their gift is to be bound to all of those nasty commitments that they made while trying to hurt you. Your gift is you're getting a 10 of Cups union. And they fell into a trap. They're trapped. They got to get out of here. They got to get out of here. It's like you're waiting to become a young woman. Like there's the age regression. There is the what do they call that? When you get your white robe, you get purified. The divine recognizes who you are and the light and the love in you. And then you are what? Renewed, reborn, rebirth, rejuvenated, revitalized. These ones are sick. They're praying. They're sick. They're praying to God. It's like, God, get this death off of me. But that was their work. And their intention in the world was to throw death upon people. They intentionally intended for others to die. And now they're praying because all of that intention, all of that blame is back on them. They're sighing. They might have lost their actual spouse. There's a messenger in the house, or the house is getting a message. There's joy here. There's joy. It could be that there was a message regarding this enemy that's bringing joy. We've got reunion and friend. So those who are reunited are actually friends. It's not just that you have an intimate encounter. You're actually, these divine unions are actually really good friends also. They care about each other. This priest who is providing some kind of service for this devil is, they can't stop thinking about it, what they have done here. They were falsely, these prideful people were falsely, look, they were being false with the sweetheart. They were being false with the sweetheart. They're a bunch of pleasure seekers. So they lied about the sweetheart in order to sell the energy. They were prostituting the energy of divine feminine, not necessarily in the 3D space, but they were harvesting her all the time. And all of the masters have agreed that prostituting the energy of a sweetheart divine feminine is against the rules. You can't do that and then say that they're a prostitute. You abuse them, RAPE their energy in the worst way while keeping them from actual love. Pleasure seekers, getting the message. They're going on a journey. They're transitioning into the spiritual realm. They're going into the place that they are a vibratory match for. They're sad about it. They're experiencing melancholy because they're not a high value person. They're just not. They've been fighting with the Lord and his wife over money. And now they're getting their asses kicked. The scholar everything is falling apart. They thought they were so freaking clever. The devil thought that if he could destroy the connection between this Lord, take it as it resonates, and his wife, that they could have all the wealth. And they could deliver wrath to all the earth angels according to their own sick desire. This curator said he owns the merchandise of the Earth Angels, and what he was doing, they had a business. All it took was a relationship or some kind of a marriage contract. And then they would sacrifice that Earth Angel and trap them into some cage, invisible cage, in a lower vibrational frequency. And they would draw off that energy and those gifts, give them to these clones. And these clones were out there doing horrible things and then laying it upon them as their own personal savior. We whose you are getting harassed, said my clones. You're not me. You're not me. I don't do what you do. The soul, the essence, the spirit is not the same. That's like saying, you know, that's like saying that a freaking antique, run-down little Volkswagen, you know, that's overheating or whatever, the electrical system is getting fried, is the same thing as a Rolls Royce. It's just not the same. You can dress it up, but it's not the same. It will never ever function the same. Will never function the same. One doesn't have a freaking radiator or a cooling system like normal, and the other one is like overloaded with this beautiful stuff. I mean, it's just not the same. Queen of Cups is coming into a total loving and supportive Ten of Cups union. These ones who are moving against them are in fear because they're in danger, and the doctor can't heal them. Maybe they don't want to go to the doctor. Maybe they're afraid of going to the doctor because they've got a scam. You go to the doctor, you know, if you go into the hospital, these ones own you. They can knock you out and inject you with anything while you're asleep and you don't even know. They call people brain dead, and then they harvest their organs. I think, and there's rumor that brain dead was a manufactured circumstance specifically for keeping the body alive while they wait to see who they're going to give the organs to. It's a scam. You don't want to go to the freaking doctor. They know what's going on. They've had an accident and they're afraid. They don't want to go to the doctor. Or the doctor can't help them. Cashing. The doctor can't help them. They were pulling up the seeds. They were pulling up the seeds. They're worried about saving. They're worried about being saved. All the curses are back on them. They know exactly what's going to happen. They know exactly what they wanted to happen, and they're bound to those contracts. You've got a Two of Cups union from the past. You don't have to worry about this thief. There is a vow. There's a vow made. You do not have to worry about this thief. Whoever you're in connection with, they're not here to steal from you. Somebody's challenged because they are a thief. They were stealing your seeds. They were pulling up all of your seeds. The doctor can't help them. They're a thief. There's a vow. You do not have to worry about this thief. They were a negative influence. They were a negative influence. They were a negative influence. They were piling all of that sin onto the Earth Angel. You might have felt like your life was chaos. You might have felt like you were a bad person because they had put the energy of these evil deeds onto you, and you may have felt it. Literally, as an empathic Earth Angel, as a transmitter receiver of the Divine Most High, you felt it. There's a celebration here because now they are overloaded with all of those curses that are backfiring on them now. They're out of balance. They're backfiring on them because you were innocent. You did not do any of the things that they were trying to say that you did. They spend lifetimes layering the true Earth Angel in this vicious, baneful crap, and then they send them to Osiris. And if they have any kind of a guilty conscience, If they did participate, then I guess they have to eat the blame for it. But it didn't work this time because you were innocent. You don't have a guilty conscience. You didn't do these things. The innocent child or childlike earth angel offered resistance to these people, and now they have to be responsible for their own evil deed. King of Cups has gained a victory over death. He has been risen from the death realm. And that means that those who were doing baneful magic and deceitfully putting it on him, it's all back on them now. This King of Cups was not guilty of this evil deeds that he was being layered in by his copycats. His copycats. They might be trying to communicate. They're not stable in the head. They are in despair. They don't know what to do. They're fighting amongst each other because this angel is calling judgment. This third-party enemy is in despair. Look, third-party enemy. They sucked this King of Cups into a third-party situation and sacrificed him and then layered him in so much evil shit. And he's calling judgment on it. And he's got the backing of the divine, of the Hierophant here. Most High God is also calling judgment and saying they are responsible for their own death magic, their own curses. Death is upon them, these prideful people. Yep, that's a promise. And you know, God doesn't have to promise anything. He just states something and you know that it's the truth. Everything that they did to this King of Cups is off of him now. It has all been taken off and reversed, put back onto these prideful people that had buried him under the blame of their own shit. They're going to die. They're going to die because the Most High has raised this King of Cups out of that death realm. So they are going to die. They are responsible for their own shit. This King of Cups was innocent. So is this Queen of Cups. And they're together here. Death, territory. All of the prideful people in the territory of love who've been blaming love for deceitful, baneful, evil, forbidden shit are going to die. This is a completion of this cycle. You are released and detached and free of this devil energy. They're upset. You're leaving them behind. You're letting them go. They're alone and sick, and they can no longer bring you adversity. This servant is in soft mode, just as they should be. They're disconnected from your temperance energy. They're out of balance. They have no protection, and all of those curses have been reversed back onto them because they're the originator of that intention. It is their wish in the world that death and destruction befall people, and so now it's coming back to them. It was the seeds that they planted, and it's the seeds that they have to eat. That's the fruit of their labor, and they've got to eat it. They've got to eat it. Earth angels aren't going to eat it anymore. Nope. He's a son. He's a freaking son. A temperance angel son. He has grown. He's this beautiful, shining being, and he's flying away. He is soaring. He is leaving it behind. He is the sun coming into a Nine of Pentacles wish come true. He persevered through all of this dishonesty. He's a high value person. He doesn't have a lover. He doesn't go out there and swing, bang, thank you, ma'am, please, thank you. He doesn't do any of that crap. He's not a little worm with a little sensory saying, ooh, what should I eat now? What should I eat now? Those little worms with their little hooks and their little siphoning little mechanisms for feeding, whatever. So there's anticipation coming on. Yeah. No, we're not gonna, no. Empty house. Nobody wants to be your lover, liar. Nobody wants to be your lover, liar. We see you clearly now. Research, research, research. New love opportunities. You are a big old cup of love. You know what your friends are here for. You're moving into your destined path, and it could be a surprise. You might be surprised. Apparently, it's going to be extreme once you discover the truth of it. The illusion is broken. The mirror magic is broken. Surprise. Everything that these baneful copycat clone witches did to you, the illusion is broken, and these prideful people are responsible for their own stuff. They're in a tower here looking for new ways to communicate. Oh crap, their mental body is all messed up. They did not grow in consciousness or awareness. They are a low vibrational, evil deed deceiver. They fell into their own trap. The trap that they had created so diligently for others is the fruits of their labor. You get the gift of a wedding. You're coming into the Ten of Cups union. They're trapped. They did not grow. They don't get it. The illusion is busted. None of your clones are you, and it is seen very clearly. The Most High God has raised from the dead the love of this King of Cups. So it could be the divine masculine. Because see, these ones, they were trapping the love of divine masculine with these Jezebel shapeshifter whores. Getting their fluids and then cursing them. And every single Jezebel that came up would get those fluids and do another curse, and then they buried them under this shit, under death. All that death is back on them now. It belongs to them. The history of an upside down perspective. They did not appreciate your perspective regarding love. They wanted to be a whore, and they were, and they are. They will forever be that. They're getting freaking wrath. According to the history, that's what the divine stated. Vengeance, the need for vengeance is in the history. They're receiving wrath. And you're getting the gift of divine union. Because you were routinely committed. Like you may have an empty nest, but you wanted. Committed to families, committed to trying to grow it. Your gifts are from Mother Nature herself. You're one with, you're all connected. And somebody, those who were distracting others and doing trickery, this mirror magic and this other kind of deceitful transference of sin shit, yeah, they're in trouble now. They're in fear. They're in fear because they were battling in the community, mimicking. They were in the community pretending that they were this or that. These are those they're demons. They've been taking over people's personalities, these scavengers trying to dominate others from a distance. They've been exposed and they're in grief. They've been exposed because of your ability to maintain balance within the circumstance. They are seen. They are seen. Creating their mischief. All of the mischief was witnessed as it was being done to you. They thought that you were alone. They thought you were alone, man. Bringing upheaval to this anomaly. They thought you were alone. They did not think that everything that was being done to you was being witnessed. But it was. You see who's looking here? Who's looking? You got this little spider sucking the life out of people. Look at that big bird watching that spider. Like, hey, spider, are you sure you want to eat that one? That one that you trapped in isolation? That one that you're bringing upheaval through mischief and trickery to with this mirror magic? This anomaly is going away now. And these ones who worked against the anomaly are the new fodder. There is death here. They were playing around with you, and now they're being released. There's no more heart bond here. There's no more care. They were deceitful. They were lying. Nobody likes them anymore. There's no more heart bond. Any attachment that they had to anybody is being released. The Most High is releasing the people from the yoke of this commitment. They're being displaced because they had captured the golden nugget, put it in their little jar. They were feeding on it. And a whole lot of information was gained. They were warned that coming after your abundance was a risk. They knew it was a risk. These people of the night, bringing survival, the need for survival to your sacred space. They were warned. These ghosts were warned. They're dead. They were cloning, they were hijacking genetics, growing these bodies in these bags of water somewhere, and then they were bringing in the dead into those bodies, and all they had to do was a song and dance. Go be a whore, go dance, go get their attention, go draw them into your black hole. Trap them, trap them, trap them. You're free of that. You've got your freedom from these who are curious, remote viewing, astral projecting into your house. You've got your freedom from that, and you are protected here. These devils are over. It's over for the devils. All of the curses are backfiring. They're responsible for every evil deed that they have done. And it's coming off of you. These actual loving masculines, divine masculines who had been buried. See, they thought if they got rid of the protector for the divine feminine, then the feminine's an easy target. And these devils were working with these clones, these of the dead, the ghosts. They would say, hey, I can give you life. Yeah, the curator, I own the merchandise belonging to this earth angel. I'm going to create a cloned body from you, and you will run around looking just like this person, doing mirror magic on this person, and we will trap them, and you can go ahead and have their glory. So they made, what, 6, 7 clones, and they were all out there working real hard to get you trapped, their personal savior, so that they could continue drawing off you for an eternity and spend your inheritance. Ultra wealthy. Well, they're getting wrath because that was what they wanted for you. I hope this brings clarity to something you already intuitively knew, and I'll see you on the next one, everybody.